Welcome, everyone. I am absolutely thrilled you're joining us for today's Explainer, where we are unpacking the entire journey of securing a United States passport for a minor under the age of 16. It's a process with high stakes, strict federal regulations, and honestly, quite a bit of paperwork. But by the end of this, you are going to be completely prepared to navigate the whole shebang. Are you planning an international trip with your child under 16, but don't know where to start with the passport process? Stay tuned and we'll guide you step by step through everything you need to know. Our goal today is simple, to give you total peace of mind. Getting this right the first time prevents massive headaches, canceled flights, and those dreaded administrative holds. So the very first thing you need to keep in mind is the number 5. Unlike standard adult passports that are good for 10 years, a minor's passport is strictly valid for only 5 years, and it is completely non-renewable. Once it expires, you've got to start a brand new application from scratch. Why? Well, it's actually a vital security measure. Children's facial features change so rapidly, and that 5-year limit ensures biometric facial recognition stays highly accurate across international borders as your kid grows.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our chronological 5-step roadmap designed to completely ease the anxiety of this complex federal process. We're going to hit basics and eligibility, documents and parental consent, forms and perfect photos, the application, fees and processing, and finally, tips and troubleshooting. Starting right off with Section 1, Basics and Eligibility, Proving Identity. Before you even think about booking that flight, you absolutely have to establish the child's U.S. citizenship and your parental relationship. The crucial thing to remember here is that the Department of State operates in a completely physical, paper-based world for these applications. You've got to present physical paper proof of U.S. citizenship, like a certified birth certificate or a consular report of birth abroad. Plus, you need a physical, valid, government-issued photo ID for the parents, like a driver's license. They will instantly reject digital or mobile IDs. Seriously, no screenshots, no digital wallet IDs. If you show up with your ID just on your phone, you will be turned away. Moving right along to Section 2, Documents and Parental Consent, the two-parent rule. Now, this is arguably the most legally complex part of the entire journey. The U.S. enforces a strict dual-parent consent framework, and it's designed to prevent international child abduction. To map this out, the State Department has specific forms that perfectly match nearly every family dynamic. If you have dual legal custody, but one parent can't be there, the applying parent brings the MAME DS-11 form, and the absent parent must provide a notarized statement of consent, which is Form DS-3053. And here is a massive detail. That notarized DS-3053 is strictly valid for only 90 days. If you have sole custody, you'll need the DS-11 plus certified legal proof like a court order or a birth certificate listing only one parent. And if the other parent is completely unlocatable, there's a specialized Form DS-5525 to document your extensive search efforts. While we're on the topic of child safety, you really should know about the Children's Passport Issuance Alert Program, or CPIAP for short. This is an incredible security net. If you're a parent who's worried about unauthorized travel, you can register your minor under 18 right into this system. If a passport application is ever submitted for that child, the Department of State will immediately alert you to verify that all parental consent requirements have actually been met. It really reinforces the safety intent behind all this red tape, doesn't it? All right, Section 3, Forms and Perfect Photos, passing the biometric test.
Welcome to the execution phase. Look, we just have to acknowledge the notorious difficulty of getting a compliant 2x2-inch biometric photo of a squirmy infant or a grumpy toddler. Improper photography is actually the #1 reason minor passport applications get slapped with an administrative hold. The rules are strict. The background must be plain white or off-white with zero shadows. The child's eyes must be completely open and looking right at the camera. I know, keeping a newborn's eyes open is a monumental struggle. Furthermore, there can be absolutely no digital manipulation. Do not use AI to fix the background or smooth a blemish. It's an instant rejection. And crucially, no other person can be in the frame. That means absolutely no parent hands holding the baby up. But hey, don't worry, the government guidelines actually offer a highly actionable pro tip for this exact struggle. Just lay your baby on their back on a plain white sheet on the floor. This gives them natural head support while giving you that perfect white background. Or you can drape a white sheet over a car seat. Just make absolutely sure your overhead lighting isn't casting your own shadow down onto the baby's face as you lean over to snap the picture. Moving right into Section 4, Application, Fees, Processing, Crossing the Finish Line.
Now it's time to navigate the logistics of finalizing all this paperwork. The core document is the Form DS-11, and you really should use the State Department's online form filler to generate it. Now, please pay close attention to these instant rejection red flags. When you print it, it must be single-sided and vertical. Never print it double-sided. Their automated scanners will just reject it. You have to include the child's social security number, so make sure you don't accidentally write your own on autopilot. And the absolute golden rule: whatever you do, do not sign this form at home. You literally have to wait until you are standing right in front of a certified passport acceptance agent who will administer an oath and explicitly tell you when to sign.
Next up is the notoriously confusing split fee model. You're actually making two completely separate payments here. First, the application fee, which is $100 for a passport book, goes directly to the U.S. Department of State. And for this, they strictly require a personal check or money order. And you've got to write the child's full name and date of birth right there in the memo line. The second fee is a $35 acceptance fee paid to the local facility, like your post office or local library. For that one, you can usually just use a credit card, cash, or a local check.
Let's map out the reality of timelines. You'll often see 4 to 6 weeks advertised for routine processing, but you really need to look at the whole picture. It can take up to 2 weeks just for your mailed application to arrive and enter the in-process status in their system. Then you have the 4 to 6 weeks of actual processing, and then it can take up to another 2 weeks for the completed passport to be mailed back to you. So definitely factor in those mailing times on both ends when you're planning your departure.
And that brings us to our final section, Section 5, Tips and Troubleshooting, Navigating Delays.
So what happens after you hand over that paperwork? Well, once it's in the system, you can track it online at passportstatus.state.gov. And here is a fantastic insider fact. When your application is processing, you're given a 9-digit locator number. The first 2 digits of that number actually reveal exactly which regional passport agency or center in the country is holding your child's file. This is absolutely crucial info if your travel plans suddenly accelerate and you have to call the National Passport Information Center for an emergency upgrade. Now, if you're applying because a previous passport needs to be replaced before it's 5 years or up, you have to know the difference between normal wear and tear versus significant damage. A natural bend in the book from carrying it around? Totally fine. But if it went through the washing machine, has mold, missing pages, or unofficial markings, it is legally invalidated as proof of citizenship. You'll still have to submit the damaged passport, but you also have to include a signed statement explaining exactly how the damage happened. But what if you have an absolute emergency? If you have urgent international travel coming up in less than 3 weeks, you need to completely bypass the local post offices. You'll need to call and book an appointment directly at a highly secure regional passport agency. For this, you absolutely must bring printed proof of your travel, like a flight itinerary, and you need to arrive 15 minutes early just to clear federal security screening. As we wrap up all this practical advice, I do need to share our final required disclaimer. Procedures and regulations can change. Viewers should verify the latest passport rules and requirements with official government resources, like the Passport Acceptance Facility Locator, or consult a professional if needed.
Your child's passport is literally their key to the world. But with all these strict, constantly evolving federal regulations designed to protect them, you have to ask yourself, are you truly ready for departure? Double-check those documents, practice taking those plain white background photos, and get that application rolling. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and safe travels.